Shefsky here. Welcome to Fantasy House. Every episode, every week, I have a different special guest guide us through their surreal fantasy house. It's like MTV Cribs in the Adventure Time universe. It's HGTV on LSD. It's so much fun to make, and it's so satisfying to hear people enjoy it. I love making this show. And if you love Fantasy House and you love Fantasy House listeners, if you're a listener and you want to support other listeners, you got to hit up Todd Mack, TC Mock. He's a Canadian, which you know how I feel about Canadians. Love him. He's on our Instagram. He's a great graphic designer, and he's making a transition from his old graphic design job to a new one, and he's opening up the airwaves, or his calendar. He's opening up his calendar for some extra freelance work, and he does a fair price for great work. Hit up Todd Mack. He's a great dude. Do it right now. Click the button right now. Pause this and go to Instagram and hit up Todd Mack. And then come back and listen to this episode of Fantasy House. My guest today is a hilarious comedian. Awesome dude. Wave of positivity and genuine good vibes from this dude. I don't know if that... Is it still legal to say good vibes? I
think you're okay, yeah.
It's okay. Alex Hooper is here with me.
Hi.
Woo!
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, dude, I can't wait. Now, in the words of the great Angelo Bowers, let us do this! Alex.
Yeah.
What are you passionate about? What is it?
This is
deep right away. I'm like, going deep.
Comedy, pugs, music festivals, live music, slacklining, colorful people, weird fashion, traveling. Yeah, those are pretty good summation of who I am.
You're like a booth at Burning Man with legs.
I try to be, yeah. Like, I'm very inspired by the Burning Man community and everything that happens out there. And if anyone has never been to Burning Man and is curious about it, I cannot recommend it enough. It is the height of human ingenuity. It will leave you saying, what the fuck, every 30 seconds.
Right.
And it will inspire you and motivate you to just be a more creative and free person.
I want to go to one of those. I've always just never had the money or the time to go to a full festival, but
yeah,
man,
it can get kind of expensive, but luckily that's where like I started like really like aiming my passion towards it. And so I started finding a way to like bring comedy to festivals that didn't have it.
Yeah.
And therefore I got to this point where instead of me paying to go to all these festivals, I was getting paid to go to festivals.
That's the smart way to do it.
That's what I need to put my focus into, is like, how can I go to these things for free and become a participant instead of an attendee?
Right? That's you worked your way around, dude. That's what they always say. They're like, hate paying for concert tickets? Start a band.
Right, exactly. It's true. And like, honestly, the big thing about going to festivals again and again is you kind of want to just be involved in some way, because you see this whole creation just coming out of nothing, and you see this, you see a park next to a lake, and all of a sudden it's transformed into this adult just play factory.
Yeah.
And you just kind of want to, your brain starts going, you're like, well, how can I make this better? How can I be part of this experience?
How can I contribute to this culture?
And suddenly that's what happened to my brain, is I'd stopped wanting to go and wanted to start being a part of it, and started wanting to do the work to like give other people these out of body, crazy, just break them out of reality worlds.
So what do you do when you're there?
I mean, mainly, I produce comedy for festivals and things like that. We put on our own shows, and I bring comedians into festivals. And the rest of the time, I'm just running around playing and things like that. Sometimes my friends will have like art exhibits and things like that, or installations. But for the most part, I'm just using it to just break out of my own world of Los Angeles and everything else that I'm going through. And that is my time to be completely unhinged, uncaged, and just be whatever the fuck I want to be that weekend. I'll put on a crazy costume and do characters, and it is your world. out there. You know, you make it what you want it to be.
I feel like you bring that everywhere, though. Like, you don't just have to be there. You bring it.
I try.
Everywhere.
Well, that's kind of what's happened is like music festivals have inspired me so much that like now I just want to bring that into my everyday world, and especially my comedic world, where like if you come to an Alex Hooper show, like I want it to be like an experience where you walk away feeling better about yourself, feeling better about the world, and also just being like, that was fun. Like I forgot about all the bullshit in my life for a few minutes, and I just was kind of transformed into this alternate reality where just like, you know, we were just having a good time. Everything was just silly and love. And that's kind of my whole principles of life is like, how can silliness and love, if I can invoke those two emotions every single day, then I'm doing my part to make the world a better place.
Oh, it's so great. And I love when you post, like if someone writes you, like if you have like, what do you call it? Like a bad Yelp review.
Oh yeah, dude, sure. I have my fair share of haters.
And you post it and you post, it's almost like if you're a shining light of joy, sometimes people hate that about you. Like they resent it, and you're like, what? But if you are actually that, like you are, the way you fight back is you go like, oh, okay, well, listen, I love you, bud, and I hope you get through your tough times. You're obviously projecting, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but I love, and I've been inspired when I read your posts when someone is negative, and you go, oh, someone's being negative, like a Care Bear. You're just like, I'm going to shoot some more love at this.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is, because all they want is for me to go, fuck you, dude. You don't know what
they're trying to engage.
That's what they
want.
want.
Sexual tension or something.
I'm never going to give those people what they want. Instead, I give them the exact opposite, and I give them what they need.
And deep down, they do want that, though. The soul wants to be hugged.
Yes. No, they don't know that's what they want, but that is what they want in the end. And so, yeah, I approach them with love and silliness, like I said, and then I just kind of make them be like, hey, what's going on with you? Like, I don't know what's going on in your life, but I know times must be hard if you're going to take the time online to find out who I am and find a way to contact me. But instead of putting this hate into me, what if you put this love into your family and friends? What if you use that same energy into promoting things in your own? And then they get kind of like, what? No. And it's just, it's great. It's so much fun. And I've tried to inspire more people to do it, because that they want you to write them off. They want you to write something negative so they can feel right.
Is it like a deep not sadistic, masochistic need where they they need to get socked really hard, though, like emotionally? Or like, I need someone to say fuck you to me and be really mad, like for some sort of like that reaction as an indulgence, kind of.
I feel like, well, because the reason I have haters is because I've done this roasting stuff like on TV, like through Comedy Central's roast battle, through America's Got Talent.
Dude, your costumes and like, yeah.
Thank you.
Dude.
Yeah. It's just, and the roasting thing is just a side character of me. It's a healthy way for me to get out any aggressions that I have inside me. Yeah. Because like we've said, like I am a very positive person, but I'm still a human. I still have very dark thoughts, very sad thoughts.
It'd be weird if you didn't.
Exactly, right? If I'm just walking around just like a bubbly cloud all the time, and no matter what, they're like, what's going on? You're like, my dad's dead, but don't worry, we're going to get coffee. Yeah! Like, that'd be insane. And so I need a way to, like, the roasting thing is a way for me to get out these really dark thoughts. Yeah. And I try to do it in just a hilarious way, but people, in a satirical way, but there will always be people who don't get it. And like, when I went on America's Got Talent, people were like, how dare you say those things? Those are our heroes. And I was like, did you not notice I was wearing a tail? Yeah. Like, how could you possibly think this is real in any way?
And you had mentioned people, using their energy negatively instead of positively. I've always thought that about people that are easily offended by words. I've been like, man, like if you put half this energy into actually, that you get an actor or a comedian fired or somebody from their job for making the wrong joke. If you put half this energy into the actual like warmongers and torturers of the world, getting them taken out of their posts, we'd live in a better world. Exactly. But they constantly pick easy targets.
That's the thing. They're afraid of going after the bigger targets.
So they'll just go after fellow humans. They're like, you said the wrong thing that upset me. And it's like, is that really what? Because like words never offend me. No, I've been called the really bad racial names too.
It's intention. I've thought that my entire life. You could say you could say you're fucking beautiful to someone, or you could say you are the worst thing I've ever seen, and I wish God would smite you with everything he has. Well, one of them I used a bad word. The other one I actually said something terrible. Yep. So what are we really mad about?
And even if you said something terrible, like what if you're truly coming from what if people are truly coming from what do you call it, that higher, like taking the high ground, from a more graceful position? It's like you would realize that it doesn't matter what that person said. If they said something extremely negative or positive, if you're going to pick yourself up by the bootstraps, if you're going to make time in your schedule to be upset, go to Flint and fix the water. Like, get mad about real stuff that's going on. Don't get mad about jokes. Because and or just any words in general. I mean, give people the benefit of the doubt that sometimes, a famous person says the wrong thing, or even a non-famous person says the wrong thing because they're trying to be funny, or they're truly angry and they meant what they said. But still, even if they meant what they said, I'm like,
just look into yourself.
People mean things differently at different days.
Yeah, I wonder why is this upsetting you, and is it really a factor of an external problem, or is it something within you that you need to look into that's like a deeper seated issue?
Have you always been like pretty much like a mirror that bounces it off? Like, negativity?
No.
Okay. How did you get from wherever you were to here?
This is years of work. This is like
anything worthwhile is.
This was not an accident. I grew up I've had very bad eczema my entire life, and I felt like the world was against me because my skin hurt and was on fire, and I was constantly I was hospitalized many times because my skin was like so bad and like broken. And my parents loved me so much and did everything they could to make me like happy and comfortable, but I was just negative and angry. My whole thing was like, the world wants me to feel like shit, and so I'm going to make everyone else in the world feel like shit. So I used to be the exact opposite. I would bring people down. Like if you thought you're like, oh, I'm so happy to be alive. I'm like, I'll show you. Don't you know the world is fickle and everything is bullshit? We're all gonna die. Yeah, and that's what I would do. And then I started through a bunch of factors, through many of which I said at the beginning, through the love of my girlfriend, getting dogs, going to music festivals, finding comedy. All of these things started to come to play where I was like, what am I so upset about anymore? Like, why can't I flip the switch? And I did, and I suddenly realized if I can be that negative, then I can be that positive as well. Yeah. And I came to the other side, and I was like, oh, it's way more fun over here.
The water is really nice here. I'm going to sit in this pool.
It's much warmer. The grass is greener, and and it gets you way higher.
Yeah.
Than is what I found. I want to smoke this grass over here, because that other grass, it's no good. It's brown and dirty and has sticks and G.I. Joe action figures, and you got it from some guy on the street who charged you way too much money. And now I'm in that California grass where I just take one hit and I'm like, ooh, yep, I feel good, and I'm going to pass this on to others.
Things are not bad at all. That's beautiful, man. I love that you that you weren't always that, and that you learned lessons, which I think in order to truly be positive, to be optimistic, or just to grow and be a shining light of a person, you have to have gone to the dark and been a miserable piece of shit at times.
Can you imagine a 9-year-old going what do you mean, Mr. Shefsky? Why are you upset? Just be happy all the time. You're like, shut up, kid. You have no idea what you're about to go through. Yeah. You don't know what death and pain are.
Yeah, dude.
You
have to go through it to realize how.
Yeah, and I'm glad I went through it in the first 20 something years of my life, so I could really, really experience it and then go, okay, that's not what I want anymore. Because now, anytime I start to have those feelings, I can recognize it, and I can start to revert and go back to being like, no, what do I need to do to change my perspective right now and get myself back to a positive place?
You won't get lost in the naivety problem that so many people do, where they were scared to try or risk or get into trouble or be bad at a young age,
right.
And then they're 30 and they're shoplifting, and you're like, whoa, I did that when I was 14. Come on now, this is you're too late for this kind of stuff. And I know people that are learning some of these lessons with relationships,
sure,
and with the law and with things where it's like, oh, you didn't figure that out when you were a little kid, and now it's like you have to go through it to be an adult. But Lord willing, you don't want it to be when you are 30 or 40 years old going through that teenage shit.
I'm so glad I made all those mistakes early on.
Same
and just
here.
And now I know, just think about it's simple things, just gratitude and all these other things that you think about where just I'm constantly checking in with myself to go hey, isn't life better than we ever thought it would be? And I go oh yeah. It is. When I was 17, I thought I'd be dead by now, or I'd be a methed out trucker driving through Kansas on his 38th hour looking for more drugs and maybe a prostitute to stick my dick through a glory hole. You know what I mean? And now I'm just I'm just so happy that that's not the case.
I love the lyric of that song. He's a methed out trucker driving through Kansas looking for a glory hole to stick his sticky dick through.
Oh, you listen to Kenny Chesney too? This is great.
Dude.
Or was that Blake Shelton? I can never remember.
Dude.
That's how he got on The Voice. voice, right? Singing about a methed out trucker with a prostitute in a glory hole.
Oh, dude. It's a dirty, dirty country song, and I'm willing to download it.
But I will say this. If anybody is having trouble finding the lighter side of their life, feel free to DM me or send me any sort of message or something like that, because like I am happy to just give you simple little recommendations of like how to start flipping it in the other direction. Because it's all tiny little changes. There's nothing big. It's tiny little changes that you do every single day.
Like anything, dude. Everything's like a diet or an exercise plan.
Yeah.
Including mental fitness.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you don't get to like just, I was talking to a buddy about cognitive behavioral therapy, and I was like, you don't get to just go and then you're fixed. It's like you go and you keep it up, and every now and then things will slip away, and you'll be like, oh, I started to lose it that day, or I lost grasp of reality and was, sometimes I'll get super depressed about, stressed and tense about stuff that's like, oh yeah, it's I'm just on a quick roller coaster right now and it's over really fast. I might as well take a deep breath and realize, yeah, I'm lucky to just have shoes on my feet, car keys in my pocket, some shelter, fresh water. Like
people tend to, I slackline a lot, which for those that know, it's basically like walking on a really like bouncy tightrope, and it's like one of my hobbies, and I love it to death. It calms me. It's great exercise.
It gives us something to make fun of in the outside world. Am I right, folks?
Definitely. Oh, for sure. It's the most California shit you could ever
totally.
do. Just like, oh, you're just going to be a little hippie walking on a little rope. Okay.
Hippie rope.
But I love, because people always ask me, they see me doing it, they're like, how do you do that? And I realized one day I went, practice and patience. And then I went, that's how you do absolutely fucking everything.
Practice and patience.
Practice and patience. You can't get frustrated by the process. You need to understand that you're going on a journey. It's going to take you so much longer. Everything takes so much longer than you ever will want it to.
Can I say that not to correct you, but to add to this, you can get frustrated by the process. That is okay. Be at peace with yourself if you're frustrated. But then detach yourself from the emotion of frustration and making rash decisions like, I fucking quit because it's frustrating. Be like, oh, I'm frustrating. I need to stop, take a deep breath. Some people meditate. Some people just say like, I'll come back to it tomorrow. But come back to it tomorrow.
Yes.
Even if it's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to be pissed off at it, or even think that you don't want to learn it after you started trying. But get back to it tomorrow.
But everything good will take time, and the more time you spend, then the better it will be. Like that should give you motivation to work on anything that you love, is know that you're not going to be the best at it unless you put in the work today, or if not today, if you're taking a break today, then tomorrow. But at least, a few days a week, think about the thing that you want and how you can push yourself towards it, and just know that no matter what, you're closer than you've ever been before.
If you take what you just said, and if you want to simplify that, if you're listening to this and you're like, what Alex just said, if we just take that statement, take all that and put it in the statement of everything is a craft. I think there was a Terrence McKenna quote where he said like, learning to trip on mushrooms is an art or something like that. And I never really got good at that art, but as
you're naked on top of a police car.
Oh, dude, I'm definitely naked wandering around going like, I don't get it, and neither will you, so I can't explain it. Mushroom taker. Anyways, but for those that are great at it, and what I experienced when I heard that statement though was the perspective change of like, oh, I didn't realize like it's an art, and it made me realize like everything's an art. And I think it was one of his old lectures, really interesting stuff, and he was talking about like making love as an art, and all these things are an art, and it's like, oh, we've got to broaden our linguistic understanding of what an art is. And it's like, everything is a craft when you think about it. Smiling when you see a baby go by in a stroller at them is a craft, because you have to realize that I need to stop whatever I'm thinking about. Realize the most important thing right now is that baby that's going by in the stroller that I might never see again in my life is looking at a stranger's face right now. They should see a smile. Welcome to Earth.
I love
it's
that.
It's a craft. Like everything's a craft, right?
Yeah.
Being graceful. Like the whole thing of like just getting in your car, going somewhere, giving people the benefit of the doubt. It's all a craft.
Yeah. And the shitty part is it takes work. And that's why so many people won't do it, is because even just thinking like, well, how can I be more positive today? You have to actually think about the things that you want to do to actually be a more positive person. And sometimes it's as easy as yesterday I was thinking about a friend and thinking like, wow, they're on tour right now. They're doing a really good job. They're headlining. They're about to record an album. And I was like, let me just send them a text knowing that they're on the road and just say like, hey, I love what you're doing. I see you. Keep going. It's great.
I do the same thing. Because when it happens to me, I'm like, oh, it makes my day.
Exactly.
And I want to make someone else's day.
You don't have to wait for somebody to have a major life event to tell them that you're proud of them or congratulations.
Oh, for freaking
just
sure.
Look through, if you're listening to this, like look through your phone, think about someone right now that you haven't talked to in a while, and just shoot them one quick text that just says, hey, I'm thinking about you and I'm proud of you.
Oh, yeah.
And keep going, because it's good stuff is coming. And that it will make that person's fucking day.
And that feels so good good from a non-selfless point of view. It feels so good to yourself to be like, I just made someone feel good. It feels freaking good to make someone feel good.
It does.
I like what you just said too with sending them that text. Something I started last year was basically sending like a grateful report. You can wake up in the morning and start your day off by just whoever came to your mind first that you're just grateful to know and interact with. You don't even have to be super close with them. Obviously, don't weird out like a random stranger or a client that doesn't really know you, but someone that you know well enough in your life or have been somewhat close to at some point. I will send a video to whoever came to my mind that I'm like, oh, I'm just grateful to know you. And I'll just put up video text up in my phone and be like, what's up? I just woke up this morning. I'm doing my grateful report for the day. I wanted to send it to you and just say to that person, like, I love and be specific. Tell them I love the way you make these situations fun, or it's always been nice learning from you this way. But do that and just send it to them. Dude, it will make your day knowing that. And dude, so many people will write you back and be like,
"Oh, of course,
made my day." Like,
that is a mutual beneficial.
It's like coming
moment
together, but non-sexually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Just like, and you can come again if you want to.
That's
just
right. Oh yeah, send 10 of them.
Keep
Smoke
going.
a cigarette, drink some Gatorade.
Yeah, by all means, eat a sandwich in the middle if you need to. Wash the sheets if you're using different people. But either way, it's that fucking easy though to just realize that you have it. You have it so good.
Yep.
So anyone who's listening to this podcast, if you have the ability to be listening to this podcast, you're doing better than 95% of the world.
You have ears and they work. You are lucky.
You're doing great.
Yep.
And you have a device that you can play this thing. You're doing fine.
You're doing. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Totally. You have a device where you can play podcasts.
Yep.
You're better off than many people on this planet. So that's a good thing to be stoked for. And if you're depressed and you have a chemical imbalance and you can't feel that joy, that's okay. Just take action and go get actual therapy. And stick with a scheme. What do you call it? A scheme?
A plan?
A plan. Yeah. A scheme, a plan.
A scheme's a little bit...
therapy scheme?
Yeah, therapy scheme.
Dude, a real shady psychologist.
I just imagine these criminals going in and just like,
Hey, I want to get better at stealing.
It's a therapy scheme. Coming this fall to NBC, Therapy Scheme, starring everybody that was on Friends.
But mostly just Matt LeBlanc.
What's your idea of what do you see for the future? How do you see it all happening?
I if I continue going the direction I'm going, I'm building this fan base of very like-minded, weird, expressive people that I just love to death. I really want I want to get to the point where right now, like when I'm on the road, like a few people that know who I am are coming to my shows, which is great.
So
but
exciting.
most people don't know who I am. But I want to get to the point where I build it up so much that when you're coming to an Alex Hooper show, it's like you're going to a music festival. I want people to put on weird costumes and trippy colors and just go there ready to party. I want to I don't want to just stand in a club. I want to have the stage decorated, trippy psychedelic forest kind of stuff. I do. My whole thing has always been break people out of their reality for whatever time I have with them. And so I want fun music coming in, and I want there to be interactive things to do while you're waiting for the show. And I really want to build this community of people that are loving and positive and just fucking silly. And more than anything else, they just really they qualify humor as one of the most important things, and that they're there just because they know that the live experience is better than anything you could ever watch on TV or listen to or anything like that. I'm all about live experiences. That's what I do. The worst thing somebody can do to me is go, hey, there's this hilarious video on YouTube. It's 7 minutes. Watch this on my phone. I'm like, no, my life. I feel it slipping away.
Yeah, totally.
All I want is, if you were like, hey, there's this amazing group. They do this crazy thing. It's down at UCB. We got to go see it. I'm like, now you're talking. Yeah. I want to go places. I want to see shit. I want to feel it.
I'm alive, damn it. I want to live.
For sure. And so that's where I kind of see my career going is I'm just going to keep creating these bigger and more wonderful and illuminating experiences for the person to just that they can really feel like they interacted with something, and that they can leave my show going thinking differently but feeling uplifted in their own life, so that they can go and spread positivity to other people.
Beautiful.
It's super lame.
It is dorky. Positivity isn't as cool as a skull and heavy metal at times, but let me tell you something.
Not.
It really is.
But you know what? I'd rather I look at people dressed in black, and I look at people dressed in rainbows, and I'm like, you know what? I used to follow the black people. Now I'm going for the rainbow people.
That sounded racist. I used to follow the black people. The people dressed in black, you meant.
Yeah, of course.
And also the black people that they wear black. Everyone's allowed to wear whatever they want.
You can wear whatever you want, guys. Hey, I don't discriminate. Everyone, as long as you're a loving person, I don't care what the fuck you look like or what color you are or anything like that.
I like the idea of positivity and optimism. I also like a little balance. It's okay to like not even be upset at yourself if you're feeling negative, or upset at other people if they're being a little dark. That's why I like skulls and rainbows. I'm just I want that whole like.
Well, that's kind of my
Lemmy
aesthetic,
and Mr. Rogers sitting at the bar.
I have parts of my stand-up that get super dark, like because I do have that. I really do think. I think really dark things are hilarious. Like when we go really sad and like
that's how I cope with
scary,
reality.
Yeah, for sure. And so funniness. I put that stuff in my. There's lines in my act where like people will literally just be like, Jesus Christ, like, and they get like upset with me for saying it, but I'm like, look, but now we're going to bring it back to a place of fun. Like, yes, I just said this thing, but now let's bring it back. And so I want this to be a whole interactive where I'm not just, you can't pin me down into one note. That's the positive guy. Because I'm going to hit you with some themes where you're going to be like, whoa, you are fucked up in there, dude. And because the truth is, I am fucked up in here.
Who isn't?
I just do, exactly. We all are. I just do the work so that outwardly I'm not complaining and aggressive. I'm happy and, whatever.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what you do and what you build, man. And
thanks, brother.
Your contributions to the human race, bruh. What is the geographic location of your fantasy house? We're flying a drone over.
All right, we're flying a drone over. So it's got to be close to a city. That's one thing. It's got to be close to a city on the water.
Why?
Because I'm a city boy at heart. Like the thing is, I love escaping and I love going out into the middle of nowhere. But as a whole, I need to be close because people are what inspire me more than anything else. Yeah. Nature is great and as a reset and a relaxation, but I need people to be doing things that I can see from afar or even close up that I can go, whoa, I love what you're doing. Let me build on that. Mm-hmm. So I need to be somewhat close to a city. And obviously something on the water is great because then you have like, if I was like my back was towards a city, like my house is going to literally, you can see the city from one part of the roof, but if you look the other way, all you see is ocean. All you see is a lake, So it doesn't really matter where it is geographically as far as like in the world.
No, it's your imaginary world, however you want.
Yeah, it's just got to be close to an epicenter where people are firing on all creative cylinders. Okay, so cool. I need to have that with me where I'm never too far away from it.
Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, what does it look like for flying that drone over? What am I seeing?
I love the idea of it being built into a hill, like an Acropolis kind of thing, where like you can't really see how deep this house goes until you actually get inside. Like there's all these houses that like up in the Hollywood Hills where it looks like a one level, like 2-bedroom ranch house, but then you go inside and it's actually built like 6 stories deep into the mountain. Yeah. I love that. I want my house to be unassuming. Like from the outside, I don't want you to look at it and go, that house is insane. I want you to look and go, what's going on in there? If then like not really have an idea, but just have some sort of inkling that it's going to be like, I bet if I went in there, it's much more than I think it is. Because honestly, that's how I view myself. Like, here's what I am from the outside, but if you really dive deep, like there's a lot more.
Kind of what fantasy house ends up being. You're like, it's kind of like a house of yourself. Like, what are you?
Right. That's exactly what's happening. But yeah, I really want, like, I want it to be the kind of thing like, I want it to, when you go inside this house, all of a sudden, like, the world, the outside world is cut off completely. Like you are now zoned in, like to the point where you feel different when you walk in my house. But there's got to be, like you were saying, I'm full of positive vibes. My house will have a positive vibe meter. If you're not, if it can tell, if like you have to go through and there's going to be like this aura, basically like, I almost said the word detonator. That's not the word I'm thinking. No. Detector. Yeah. Detector.
Like a metal detector, but it's for auras?
Yeah, exactly. Like you got to go through. And the thing is, it's not that we're not going to let you through if you're in a bad mood, but if you're a bad person, you're not coming in there.
Okay.
If you're in a bad mood, don't worry. You're going to come in this house and we're going to get you right.
We're going to get you right.
But if you're already in a good mood, like it knows. And so if it's flashing like greens and yellows and things like that, we're good. If it starts going like really just like red, we're like, ooh, hang on a second. Like we got to take a look into you. Are you right to come into this house, or is it a place where your energy is not going to be reciprocated?
So we go through that. Let's say we go through that meter, and I'm feeling pretty good today. So let's say I got some good colors. What does it look like? What am I looking at?
So as far as when you go into the house,
Yeah, what's the entrance like?
Here's my one thing that is very important in my house. It's got to be like a Discovery Zone style play thing where everywhere you go, yes, there will be stairs, but there's also a slide option, or there's a rope swing option, or there's a slack line option. Like,
So there's always two options.
There's always
like
two options. There's the fun way to get to a place, and there's the practical way to get to a place. And yes, every once in a while, you're going to be carrying a large box, and you're not going to be able to take the rope swing. So that's what you have the stairs for, or the slide. But for the most part, if you can take the fun way, you better take the fun way. And I feel like there will be rewards for people who choose the fun way automatically. Like they will, like if you take the stairs, you just go through, okay, you're going down the stairs. But if you go through the rope swing at the end, you're just like, oh, and you also now get to be at the chocolate milk fountain. So thank you very much, everybody. Like you get rewarded because you took the fun way, and it's going to continue to be the fun way.
I'm going to be going to that rope swing until I'm so fat from the chocolate milk that I can't do it anymore.
I have dreamed of a chocolate milk fountain ever since I read this. There was this book growing up I read called The Midas Touch. I think that's what it was called, or The Chocolate Touch. I think it was something about basically because King Midas turned everything into gold.
Chocolate Touch sounds like
there was
X-rated movie. I'm not allowed to watch anymore.
You order that at the hotel. So, but there was a children's book I read where everything this kid touched turned to chocolate, and to the point where even when he went to use the water fountain, it came out as chocolate milk, and he was like, "No, I just want water," and I was like, "You stupid son of a bitch! How dare you? That's fucking chocolate milk. That's the greatest thing in the entire world."
I love chocolate milk.
I love it so much, and I when I was a kid, I drank it every single day, and now I almost never drink it anymore.
Same here. I make cacao. I'll make cacao smoothies in my blender.
Ooh, baby!
I just buy the cacao nibs and cacao powder.
Yeah,
and throw it in. I mean, it gives you like kind of like a caffeine boost too.
Oh, I bet it does.
So I throw it in with almond milk, and I put like stevia in there instead of actual sugar, and a banana, and some salt. So it's like it's got like a salted chocolate.
You basically just made liquefied bananas Foster. That sounds amazing.
So good.
I love that.
And it's like not as crazy sugary as chocolate milk, and you actually get more cacao than you would in chocolate milk. So
yeah,
what do you call it? Pro tip:
get that extra chocolate in you any way you can. Everybody,
so
get that extra chocolate.
You can throw spinach in there too in the blender, and then really feel like you just had a healthy smoothie, but it's like chocolate milk.
You're gonna take a very healthy shit as well if you do all that. Totally. Oh my gosh,
totally. I totally highly recommend a good poop for y'all's. All right, so I love the stairway. Everything's got two ways to get there, and the reward. Where do we go next? Where's the next room you want to take us to?
So here's the one thing I want to stress is that like I want there basically to be two sides of the house. There's a very normally decorated, like very very tasteful, very fun, but very kind of elegant side of the house. That's for like when you know people like families coming over for my lady who doesn't always want to be in this weird psychedelic world. There's that side of it where it's just a lot more toned down. Yes, there's pastels, there's some good coloring, there's very comfortable furniture, but it's way more just like you walked into a very nice home. Yeah. But then you have the other side, right? Yeah. And so this is when you go to my side and now we are in that psychedelic DMT trip where like all the walls are painted different colors and graphics, and basically everywhere you look just looks like another place you could just stop for 3 hours and just stare into. Just trip the hell out, because like in the end, like I want the world to just be more colorful, and I get so happy when I see things that are just like rainbows, and that's why I live in West Hollywood, because there's rainbows fucking everywhere. Yeah. Even our sidewalks are rainbows there.
I love that.
But so I want it to be like, now there's like beanbag chairs here, and like love sacks, and like there's hammocks coming from the ceiling, and there's just like everywhere you go, like basically I want every room on that side of the house to look like you're in a completely different theme. That's just like, now you're in a jungle room, and now you're in here. But the other side of the house, you got to keep it. You got to have that one side for when I just need to decompress right now, right? I can't be in this weird psychedelic kingdom. Now I just need to like have a little me time and just like kind of re-energize, have a yoga room, have a room where it's very much like the come down room. Yeah. So like my room is like when you're at my side of the house is when you're at the party and you're tripping out. And the other side of the house is like, now the party's over. We're super glad to be home. We need to decompress.
Come back to reality.
Here we are,
Start
everybody.
To gather our thoughts.
Yeah. Now you still better take the rope swing there. That's all I'm going to say, or the slide. You still better do that.
You can't remove your funness out of anywhere in this house. It's
no. Everywhere in the house is still going to have elements that we're still in the super fun world, obviously. But it's just that if you need to have a more, we're not going to have Thanksgiving dinner in Alice in Wonderland's rabbit hole. You know what I mean?
Not every year, at least.
Not every year.
At least one year you got to.
If it were up to me, we would.
Shefsky here. Hey, you guys know I'm not just a fantasy real estate agent. I'm a really real real estate agent. That's right. In real life in Southern California, I am a realtor. So hit me up if you want to talk about houses, condos, multifamily apartment buildings. If you want to sell a house, buy a house, fantasyhousepodcast@gmail.com or on Instagram at JONSHEFSKY. Why not? You know what I'm saying? Real estate. It's really fun. All right, guys. Back to the show. The gather your thoughts and reintegrate into society side of the house is fun. But what I'm really excited about, I know what my listeners are really excited about, is we want to know, like, in your psychedelic chamber, where's the kitchen and where do I go to the bathroom?
Oh, I mean, we have all this. So I want the kitchen. Now, see, that's what's fun about this is because now we're in this magical forest, right? Yeah. So the bathroom, it doesn't have a toilet. It has a toilet, but it's shaped like a tree stump. So you sit on this tree stump, right? You sit on this tree stump.
Take a tree stump dump.
a tree dump. Yeah, I like you're taking a tree dump.
I took a tree stump dump.
But then you sit there because your shit is actually going to give life to the house, right? Because it's from our from our shit, like things like life will spawn and things like that.
You know, shit life.
Of course. Well, that's where do mushrooms come from, right? From cow shit, right?
Ironic, right?
So every time you go to the bathroom in my house, it will create some other part, like it will add something to the house. Like maybe a tree will start to grow or a plant of some kind where it will then add to the aesthetic of the house. So you're not taking a shit and it's going to be flushed right out to the ocean. It's now contributing to part of the house. So now your DNA has become part of the house. That way, all the good energy from the people that are there, that are within the house and living in it or just visiting it, it stays there. And the collective good energy will continue to make the house evolve in a way that it is becoming more sentient and more happy at the same time. My house is alive, dude.
What if I just need to take a pee?
By all means, we'll take the pee. We'll take the urine, dude.
It doesn't do much, actually. Yeah, the pee doesn't do much. It's
same, same tree stump, though. Same little tree stump that you're going to do it in. And there's a kitchen in there too. And like I want obviously like the kitchen is going to be that same thing where I want it to be like a kind of like secret passageway where like you have to open something like a tree that doesn't seem like it would be there. Where it's just all of a sudden like then it opens itself for you. The leaves come down and the branches open up and it just shows you everything that you have. And now you don't need to grab anything from the fridge. It's fully automated. So all you need to do is say, yes, kombucha, please. And then it will just shoot it out like a vending machine straight to you.
So what would we have if we were in your kitchen right now with the whole film crew for Fantasy House?
So you gotta have healthy stuff, obviously. Like as much as I am an ice creamaholic and there will be don't worry, there will be an ice cream machine in my house.
3 favorite flavors.
Ooh, gosh. Okay. I mean, I got to go like a double fudge brownie.
Yep.
It's all going to be like chocolatey stuff, like a French silk. I love like a cherry chocolate chip.
Dude,
that kind.
As I've gotten older, I love berries mixed with chocolate.
Oh, it's so good. It's so excellent.
It. Oh, dude, strawberries and chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, that cacao smoothie I was talking about earlier, if you have frozen strawberries, throw
that in there for sure.
In there too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I love doing like think strawberries with balsamic vinaigrette and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
so good.
There's a sushi chef that was down here in LA. He moved to Northern California, but he was trying out some really cool stuff. He would take unagi eel and put that with strawberry with eel sauce. And it was so good.
We used to make, my girlfriend and I we have this thing called a sushizi, which is like a little cylinder that you can open up and you line the sides and you put it together and you push out the sushi roll.
Oh,
we used to put like mango in it and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, people do that. I've seen that.
Yeah, we would make all kinds of weird little sushi concoctions.
Mango goes good with rice. I think
it truly
Thai
does.
People and Indian people.
Oh yeah. Mango sticky rice is a huge Thai delicacy, and it's incredible. If you ever go to Thailand, or if you find a place here that does it, but it's better if you just do it in Thailand, like from a street vendor or something like that.
But if you just need to get back to work after lunch, do it.
Yeah, you can just go to a Thai restaurant and get it. But yeah, I want to have all that stuff in there because I want to have good teas and juices and kombuchas and things like that. There's got to be a lot of different flavors of sparkling water. Even though I really can't tell the difference between one sparkling water to the next, I still need to have a million different flavors of it to pretend like I'm doing something differently. Like, I'm the guy who's just like, what flavor of LaCroix should we get? I'm like, I don't care. They're like, it all tastes different. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's all the same, but I need to know.
So LaCroix has the same, I can't even drink anymore. That weird, like that finish, that aftertaste of it. I was like, what? is that? But
Yeah.
my wife gets this stuff called Spindrift.
Oh, I know Spindrift.
Dude, I freaking love Spindrift. There's like a black raspberry or blackberry one. Dude, I could just drink that all day. It's like 2 grams of sugar per can.
Yeah, there's like nothing.
So drink
in there.
10 cans and have 10 or 20 grams of sugar. Like, it's so good.
I used to drink a lot of soda, and like I had to get off that at some point, and so I never understood sparkling water, and then my girlfriend was like, "You got to think of it as just like you're bored of regular water, so you just need something with different."
Yeah.
And so then
it's like not cheating on your wife, but you both wear wigs when you have sex.
Yeah,
Like, it's still the same thing.
Yeah,
but
I'm
like,
going to call you by the different name, but I know it's you.
yeah,
Okay,
it's a little bubbly. I'll wear the monocle if that's what turns you on, and my top hat.
You can still tell I'm here. It's still
me.
Alex inside, but you're going to call me Mr. Buttons for the next 2 hours. And 2 hours is being very generous, by the way.
We can wear our VR masks and
And do it on top of the tree stump toilet.
You'll be Emma Stone, and I'll be
Ryan Gosling.
I think my wife always likes what's his name. What is his name? He's the big tall dude from Knocked Up, and
Seth Rogen.
No, he's hilarious. That'd be funny if my wife was super into Seth Rogen. No, this guy's hilarious. Jason.
Oh, Jason Segel.
Jason Segel.
Segel, yeah.
So I always joke with my wife like, well, I'll get us both VR masks. I'll be Jason Segel.
Yeah, and you will also be Jason Segel because I would be proud to fuck Jason Segel.
My wife's like, who was I? I was like, Jason Segel. Like,
It's all I can only afford one setting. It was $800 to get another character, so I just have Segel. So,
dude, doing fantasy sex with my wife has really turned into a real job for me. I'm having to fuck dudes.
if you want, I can gangbang you with 7 Jason Segels all at the same time.
We're taking it to 7 Jason Segels. Oh, dude, the future I didn't ask for. Okay, so the bathroom's hilarious. Kitchen's awesome.
Yeah, sure. Well, so it's the whole thing is just got to be like you got to be transported into another realm when you're in the house. Like reality exists, but for this moment while you're in here, it does not. You know what
you're
I mean?
taken away from it, and you're in the moment of where you're at, which is a gift.
Right, and that's why you need both sides of the house though, because you need to have times it's like, no, I need to work right now. I need to type up a paper. I need to do something that is more, earth based. And so now I have the other side of the house and I can go over there. But when it's just chill time, when it's me time, it's always on the psychedelic side of the house.
So do you have another room that you want to show as like a master bedroom or any other kind of
the thing
room?
is I need to have a trampoline room.
Okay.
Not just the trampolines get exhausting very quickly, but the idea of having a floor that is always trampoline that you can just whenever you need to, you just need to go bounce, you need to go lay down, you need something like I want there to be just things like crazy lighting hanging from the ceiling. That's one thing. I haven't talked about the ceiling yet. Every ceiling in the psychedelic side of the house has projection mapping. And when you go inside, you decide what you want to look at. So it could be the middle of the day and you're staring at the sun, or it could be the middle of the night and there's a meteor shower going on. So even though you are covered and you are inside a house, you are looking up and there is rain just coming down at you. And it just looks like you're in this crazy storm, but you're not. I would be, you get to choose what the projection mapping is. I went to this place. There's actually a place in downtown LA called the Wisdom. Have you ever seen ads for this or anything?
No.
There's a place called the Wisdom LA, and it opened last year, and it's 4 different domes, and they do projection mapping on all the domes. And I went to see a friend of mine DJ there, and I was like, this is like we're outside. I know we're inside, but everything they're doing is leading me to believe we're outside. And then they would switch the scenery and you'd be going through this DMT wormhole where there were these monsters trying to eat you. And I was staring at the ceiling going, this is fucking insane how good this looks. And if I had this in my house and I could control this whenever I wanted, I could use it to be absolutely anything that I wanted. So I want projection mapping, not just on the ceiling, but also I want the option to be on a floor. I've always had this dream of a dance floor that looked like you were falling away.
Oh my God.
Because all of a sudden they're just shooting you at the ground and it just looks like you're falling as fast as you can.
That would be hard to stay standing on.
I know.
You'd be your brain would be tricking the whole time. Wait, what's going on? What's going on?
Exactly. But that's part of what I was talking about. The whole experience needs to be interactive, right? I don't want you to just laugh. I want you to feel. feel. And so my house is going to be the same way, where you need to really like feel everything that's happening. And so I want there to be a projection mapping option where you choose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you want to be in the Sistine Chapel all of a sudden and you want to stare up at that, cool. That's there. If you want just a bunch of palm trees and birds flying over, that's there too. If you want just a white canvas and you want to be in purgatory or whatever you think that is, cool. The entire place is now white, ceiling to floor, and you can create your own projection map.
Out. Love it.
Painting on it and stuff like that too, like that VR paint thing where you can just paint your own walls.
Oh, I love
Come
that.
in and do it. You're not messing up my house at all. It's all just fake. It's projection mapping.
A click away to clean up.
Yeah, exactly.
We're
I
done.
like that.
Apple Z. It's all clean.
Yeah, and it's going to be, you're definitely going to need a good maid service because it's hard to clean the psychedelic part of the house because you can't always tell where stains are when you live in a rainbow world.
That's the old saying.
That's what I got that.
It's the old bumper sticker.
It was Ronald Reagan who said it first, everybody. You can't always see stains when you live in a rainbow world.
Oh, I told you he was getting high on his own stash.
Just say no.
Oh, dude. The Iran-Contra chronic scandal is what I called it. Is there anything else we need to see? You got anywhere else we got to go while we're here?
I mean, in that part of the house, I'm thinking that's because that's all the first floor, basically, right?
Yeah.
We've pretty much hit the living room, the bathrooms, the foyer, the kitchen.
You got a master bedroom somewhere, right?
Oh, of course. Well, yeah. Now we're heading upstairs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now
Is that the psychedelic side or the square side?
There's both.
Ooh.
Yeah. No, both sides have an upstairs and a
Two
downstairs.
master bedrooms.
Yeah.
Master bedrooms, plural.
Here's why 2 master bedrooms are important. Every once in a while, like I'm in a relationship, every once in a while, we're going to have a night where we get in a fight. It's rare. It's very rare for us to fight.
Part of a relationship. It's a craft. Remember,
it's
a craft.
And I think the best way that you can get out of a fight is to go to your separate places for a little while. And so if we have our own bedrooms, then we have the option to being able to we don't have to always sleep in separate bedrooms, but we have the option there. The other thing I really want is I would like a bed that is because a lot of times when my girlfriend and I are done making love, you have that moment, you go shower, you clean up or whatever, but then you come back and you cuddle for a little bit, but then you just kind of want your own space.
Yeah.
Then you're kind of like, now I need myself.
You call your girlfriend an Uber, but you're like, but we live together. It's just get in the car. Please.
So here's where this comes in, though. I want a king size bed that knows when we're done. Like we have a button that we can press when we're done having sex, and then it turns into 2 queen size beds. It separates them from the
Slowly?
middle, just very slowly, just brrr, and you can decide how far apart you want to be. But if you're having one of those days where it's like, look, I just really need to sleep now. I can't listen to you snore. I just need to be a few feet away. Then the bed will just take care of itself, and then it will bring you back in the morning so you come back to cuddle time without you having to do anything.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think a separating bed, a king that turns into 2 queens would just be epic to save your relationship. Because there are nights when, like, look, I love you. I just need a little bit of space right now.
Oh, totally.
And yeah, so if you don't need to have 2 separate beds, you can have 2 separate bedrooms, or you just have the bed that will also separate.
What's it look like in there? Describe it to us visually, like the walls, the colors, the ceiling,
I really stress the idea of wanting the outside of my house to look, or the inside of my house to look like you're in the outside. Okay. I really like the idea of having like almost like ivy, like looking like climbing the walls and stuff like that. Like I want it to be a living organism, like I said, with just take away all the bugs and things like that. Like there's got to be some intro radiation meter that just kills all the bugs and stuff like that. It doesn't kill the bugs. It doesn't allow them to enter the house. I don't wish death upon them. I just don't want them to come into my kingdom. Yeah. I did correct. I was like, wait a minute. I don't want to kill.
I don't want to kill these bugs so that I can live happily. Let's just turn them around and pat them on their butts as they fly away.
I will kill a cockroach. I will not. That is in my apartment. I will not feel good about myself for about 2 minutes afterwards, but I still do it.
I don't like killing anything. I'm a huge meat eater, and I still am just like, man, if I had to kill any animals, I probably would be a vegan. And but I who knows how if I was ever in that situation, I don't know. But
can you imagine if somebody's like, hey, we're gonna have chicken for dinner, you got to go out and prepare this thing.
My brother's been to Mexico with my sister-in-law. A ton of her family's in Mexico, and they've gone down there. They've watched them kill pigs and get, like for their festivals and for dinners, and I'm just like, woo, my brother's told me, like, it's pretty, my brother's kind of like an alpha male dude. And he's like, it's pretty crazy, like seeing like life leave an animal in the way that and I'm just like, oh, and I've seen animals die as I'm in my 30s. I've seen a lot of crazy shit, but just to eat one meal. Like I think about when I'm eating a piece of chicken, I'm like, man, how many chickens did they kill just for John?
Dude.
And I don't even like chicken that much, but you have to eat it.
I think about that all the time. The amount of restaurants that we have and like the amount of people that we feed in the world every single day.
Just for one day.
I don't understand how we even have enough animals.
That's why there's so many like ecological problems and because of that, because you're like, it takes a lot of water and a lot of space to just get one burger for one dude.
I know. That's what I remember like seeing this. It's like 670 gallons of water to get like a pound of beef or something like that.
It is pretty, yeah.
Yeah.
And the amount of area they need to roam too. Like I think they cut down rainforest I don't even know. But what initially set me off on this tangent was you talking about the bugs dying, because I didn't like to even kill spiders or anything before I had my kids. But now there's like a primal sense of like, I see a spider, I'm like, sorry, dude, I have to kill you because you could be, something that bites my kid. So,
yeah,
and I just kill him now.
Exactly.
And I used to be like, spend a lot of time with a cup. I still do it when I have a chance. I used to get a cup and try to put like a
that will serve you well in the apocalypse too. When some guy's just like, please, I need the last of your food. And you're like, I'm sorry, I gotta worry about my kids now. I felt bad about stabbing you before, but now it's just something I have to do.
Did you ever see the movie The Road?
Yeah,
that totally reminds me of that, where the guy it's the guy and his son. And they're trying to find salvation or whatever in some sort of apocalyptic world, and that one guy that like tries to steal from them, and
the guy
makes him get naked. He's like,
Michael K. Williams, the guy from The Wire.
Dude, it's been so long since I've seen it, but yeah, totally.
Funny enough, they filmed that movie in Pittsburgh while I was going to school, and I auditioned to be in that movie, to be one of the weirdo cannibals in the basement.
Oh wow!
And I didn't get it because I was much fatter at the time, and they needed really emaciated people. But I had two friends. I was like, you guys got to go down for this. You're both you look like futuristic cannibal weirdo people, and they both got it. So they're in the movie very, very briefly as these like cannibals in a basement.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
terrifying. Okay, so you're not killing any bugs in this beautiful house.
No. We have a sensor that will just not allow them into the house because it can't get through the good vibe sensor.
That's
obviously,
right. On your way, little bee.
Sorry,
right back over there, little
you
bee.
are not welcome here. But yeah, and I want and it's got to be big windows. It's got to have also automated curtains too, because there's got to be times when like you got to be able to shut out the world completely, shut out the outside. You don't want that sun coming in. However, we need giant windows all around the master bedroom. I love the idea of being able to be a window to the outside world, and being able to see it and being able to feel it coming in.
And you got so much beautiful scenery around.
Right, exactly. Because like I said, 360 view, you got ocean, you got city.
I love it.
So which way do you want to look right now, Now, one of the important things that happens in my house is there's going to be lighting is key. Lighting is everything. Too many people that you go in their house and they just have only like fluorescent light just coming at you.
Like you're in Resident Evil video game?
Oh, yeah. And it's just you're in a hospital. Yeah, it just hurts. You know what I mean?
Gross.
And one thing my friends and I are very keen on is like when we rent houses to go like party in and Joshua Tree and stuff like that, we bring all our own lighting and we transform that place into our own just very comfortable, very colorful scene. And one thing I want there to be like different functions of my lighting where you can pick like, oh, it's 9 a.m. and it's 8 a.m. and the sun's coming up mode, where it's going to very gradually like light the place. Or now it's rave mode and we have lasers shooting all over the house and it's going to be and there's going to just be like all kinds of like colors and lasers shooting at you everywhere you go. And like that is an option to just be in the house like that. And that's just for, when you're having a really good party and all of a sudden you go, hey guys, for the next hour, it's rave mode. And then just like, people are just like partying. But then you can turn it right back and then you can just have starry night mode. And then now the stars are kind of easing us in with deep purple hues and blues. And
like from the painting, you mean? From Starry Night painting?
Oh, I didn't actually mean like Starry Night. I just meant like it is a Starry Night, but that could be a function as well because we still have the 3D projection mapping going on. Yeah. So if you want Starry Night to be what's above you, then by all means, take that down.
I want Starry Night and I want that No Effects song written about that to be playing.
Yeah, there you go. So specific. Sound in the house gotta be immaculate. I want you to feel surround sound everywhere you go. So if you say, hey, put on music and the house knows that play this music, play this song, you feel it everywhere. The floor will start vibrating underneath you. I wanted that feeling like you're at the concert, even if you're nowhere near it.
Oh, I love it.
Because one of the things I've been to thousands of concerts in my life and like I've seen so much live music.
Have you really? Thousands of
overall, probably 1,000. Yeah, I mean, I really would have to go like, at least I've experienced thousands of musical things because sometimes at a festival on a weekend you get like 40 different bands, stuff like that. Yeah. But it's so easily somewhere in there. But I want that. There's a feeling that happens when you're driving in your car and the song comes on. You go, oh, I remember when I was peaking on the on Molly, and I remember this song. And then all of a sudden you're transported right back there. My house can do that to you anytime you want. Anytime you want to be feeling that way, you're like, oh, hey, 2011 Coachella, Arcade Fire. They played Wake Up. They dropped 1,500 glowing balls on the crowd. I want to feel that right now. And the house is like, da 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 da, and just puts you right back in there, and you're vibrating throughout your body. So you truly feel what it means to be alive in that moment. It energizes you. My house, when you leave my house, you're going to be a different person than when you walked in.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It changes you. His house changed me, man.
For sure. And you're changing the house because everything that you contribute, your energy is evolving the house and making it grow and making it more beautiful.
It's very symbiotic.
Yeah, it's got to be, it's got to be a dual relationship where you give and you take. I think like all relationships, you need to think, what can I give to this relationship and what can I take from this relationship to leave myself better? And my house will be very much the same way.
I love it.
How can we lift each other up? Lord, lift us up where my house belongs. Is
there anywhere else we got to see before we go?
I mean, you got to go to the roof.
Let's go to the roof. Take us to the roof.
There's always got to be roof access. And, roof access, like I said, now here, if you want to leave my house, there's going to be a million fun ways to do it. Like I was talking about rope swings and things like that, right? There's got to be fun ways. Like I want to be like, there's got to be a base jumping thing from the top of my house, but like it is so safe, so impossible to not fuck up that no matter who you are, whether you're 2 years old or 100, you can base jump off my house and you will be totally fine to just get back down.
Oh, dude, I'm there.
I want like cliff jumping where there's like literally like I've invented like this thing where you can cliff jump from 100 feet and it will just slow you down enough before you hit the water where no matter what, you always have easy entry, just like you're going into a nice warm bath. So you can do some crazy triple backflip gainer off of it, but as soon as you were above like 5 feet above the water, it will slow you down enough.
Oh, it's so rad.
No matter how you land, it won't hurt.
Could that be because I've always wanted to have like a suit that's just got like a bunch of nano little jets on it?
Oh,
so,
amazing!
Like, you don't have to worry about them. You don't have to worry about them like malfunctioning because they're all individual, right? So they're all powered individually. So even if like 1 or 10 of them malfunctions, you've got 1,000 of them on you. So when you're jumping, like
that's essentially it. It's
there's
the
no
safest
fail
jetpack in the world. There is
Yeah.
no fail system, and you will never ever hit the ground in a way that will hurt you.
So rad.
Yeah, I really need that sense. Like I follow way too much like adrenaline junkie things on Instagram where people are just doing crazy shit and just like wingsuits and cliff
Red Bull
diving.
Rampage. I watch that in POV all the time.
I was watching
never
that
gonna do
yesterday.
Never gonna do it, but I love watching it.
No, I'm just like, I'm sorry. How did you see this thing and think I can ride a bike down that? But yeah, I want that option too. Like, yeah, that's an option. How to get off the roof of my house? You know what? Let's Red Bull Rampage. There's a bike up there, and here's a clear line. You're gonna have to backflip off this section of it.
Oh, dude.
360 over here. But yeah, like that's just another way where you can. My house is like, like I said, like it's kind of built into a hill, and so when you're on top of it, though, you're like, ooh, now how do I want to get back down?
Yeah,
and it's a choose your own adventure. Whatever you want, it's up there.
So great. Oh, dude, what a fucking hashtag blessed guest I feel like getting to come to your fantasy house.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, you're going to leave feeling way better than you did before because everything that you want, your dreams will come true in my house because it is a choose your own adventure. What do you want to look at? What do you want to experience? What do you want to feel? What do you want to eat? No matter what. Do you not want to be around bugs? Again, perfect house for you.
I love it. I'm base jumping out of here. Where can my guests find you?
Oh, I'm very easy to find. Go to hoopercomedy.com for all my tour dates and clips and things like that. At Hooper Hair Puff on all social media. That's Hooper and then HAIRPUFF. And you can listen to my podcast, Achilles Heel, anywhere you listen to podcasts. Comes out every Monday.
Awesome. Thanks for doing this, dude.
Oh, thanks for having me. This was so fun.
So much fun. Guys, thank you so much for listening. If this is your first time listening, hit that subscribe button and then give us a 5-star review or give us whatever review you think we deserve and write something fun. I love reading them. And if you've been a long-time listener, first-time koala, then you know what? Hit that share button. Send this to your favorite uncle right now. Send your favorite uncle Fantasy House. Send it to your favorite lesbian aunt and say, here you go, favorite uncle. They love it when we do stuff like that. All right, you guys, be silly, have fun, have a great afternoon or night or whenever you're listening to this. I hope you have an awesome day.